Welcome to Chaotic.
I need to discuss this situation with the Council of Codemasters.
That would be the new most totally awesomest thing that has ever happened to me!
And come prepared for defeat.
If you guys want 10% off your custom playmats or any custom TCG accessories, use my affiliate link down below or type in CH10YP at checkout at yourplaymat.com. Thanks. What's going on, everyone? It's Codemaster Hardrock. Back at it again, talking about all the creatures in Chaotic. We did Dawn of Param last time, so we are going to move on, just jump straight into it with Zenith of the Hive. And we're going to be talking about max stats. What is extended format? Oh, look at that. Wasn't that helpful? But I think for the sake of, you know, shrinking down the list a little bit, there's only 35 creatures to look at for this set. So we're just going to jump straight into it with Agror. He's a common strategist with the earth element. Strategists you control have defender. I don't see anyone using strategists, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like Agror could be better. I don't know. I think he's mediocre. Looking at his max stats, they jumped up as, I think 55 should be the bare minimum energy. So I'm just going to say that, you know, right off the bat. Popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth. I guess moving on, Arcanon, uncommon Muge, no elements, but he has 2 Muge counters. And his 2 abilities, or I should say 3. He could toss a Muge counter to deal 5 damage to a target creature, or heal 10 damage to a target creature. And he could spend Muge counters from other Muges you control to activate this ability. So it is very specific, other Muges. If you run a Muge-centric deck, he could be pretty strong over the course of time, you know. I don't know about if there would be a battle gear in the future that makes a creature brainwashed. That may be something to consider in the future. It would have to be like an ultra rare or something, because the deck mixing and synergies you can make, you know, that could be nuts. Next is Balan, a common squad leader, 1 Mujic. You could sacrifice him and activate Hive until the end of turn. When this is placed in your discard pile, infect target uninfected creature. And, you know, just looking at his stats, he's a decent Danian, but he could be better. I wish he had Earth. Bjerk, or Bike, Bark, Bjerk, however you pronounce that one. A rare squad leader, element water, no Mujic. At the beginning of each turn, your opponent controls an underworld creature, activate Hive. He has 5, Hive, Fireproof 10. He's meant to fight an Underworlder, which, looking at his stats, I feel like, again, with the whole energy thing, man, it's the only thing he's missing. Dashhun, a common Mandiblor, no Mujic, no elements. He has Swift 2, and he may not move, and he gains 10... Oh, Hive, he may not move, and he gains 10 energy. This is a great example where if he had higher energy in general, not the 55 base, but even higher to make him like a wall, make him a wall style creature, that could work. Dasselin, Peyton had this in the episode where he fought Eddie X. His was overpowered because looking at the stats and looking at, you know, everything about him, uncommon Mandiblor, element water, 1 Mujic. He has Water 5, and with his Hive, he replaces his Water 5, and he gains heal 10 damage to target Mandiblor at the cost of a Mujic counter. I really don't know what to say about Dasselin, man. I feel like if you want to make Dasselin wildly compatible. I see that his specialty is supposed to be wisdom. However, again, you know how I feel about the energy thing. Dabani, a rare Muge, no elements, and he has 2 Muge counters. In his ability, he can remove a Muge counter to put a Muge counter on target adjacent creature, which means a creature that's touching him. It does not say your opponent, not just you, or, you know, it could be your opponent, too. Very weird. And trying to figure out a way where that would be useful. I guess against, you know, like if you run a Marillion deck, but I don't think that's possible. Dubin, a Danian controller. Infect target uninfected creature. If opponent controls an infected creature, he gains 5 energy. That in of itself is a okay ability. If it said gain 10 energy, that might have been a different story, but it's rather unfortunate that his maximum energy is only 35. Fosh, who's an uncommon elementalist, he has Mastery of Fire, no Music. You can deactivate Hive and he gains Fire 5. Hive cannot be activated again this turn. It must be active in order to deactivate it to begin with. I feel like that's obvious, but, you know, seeing that he's fire-oriented, you know, power, looking at his stats, he's alright. Gar, flip target battle gear face up or face down. He's a rare caretaker with 2 Muja counters. So, Garv is considered a good creature. So, he can mess with battle gear and mess up with synergies, so, yeah. Geltod, who's a common Muge, 1 Muge counter, no elements. Discard a Muge card, deal 5 damage to target creature. I just read his flavor text. For a Muge, he's not very wise. Most Muges typically have specialty in wisdom. Yeah, very strange. I mean, I never used him, never will. Hammerdoom Chant Caller. A majority of people who watch the Codemaster Chronicles will know how I feel about this creature. Ultra Rare Warrior, 1 Muge counter, 1 fire. Or rather, he has Mastery of Fire. Attacks played by Hammerdoom Chant Caller deal an additional 5 damage to Danian creatures. If Hive is active, attacks played by Hammerdoom Chant Caller deal an additional 5 damage to Underworld creatures instead. I love Hammerdoom, man. Hammerdoom was a powerhouse at one point. The only thing that I would suggest if, you know, were to bring back Hammerdoom, make his max 75. Hewn Marquard. Uncommon Muge, no elements, 2 Muge counters. When a Danian Muge is played by an opposing creature, put a Muge counter on Hewn Marquard. You know, he's a Muge, so looking at his energy, looking at his stats, he gets a pass. But, like, he's strictly made to fight Danians, so what can you do? Ilazar, a weird super, has air, 1 Mugic. He is a Muge. When a creature you control leaves play, if that creature has 1 or more Mugic counters on it, remove a Mugic counter from target creature. No one's playing Ilazar. No one's playing Ilazar. And Ilazar looks like he's charging into battle. He doesn't look like a Muge to me. Queen Alexia, leader of the Danians, an ultra rare noble with 2 Mugic counters. Element Earth. Your adjacent creatures have Defender. When a Mandiblore or infected creature is placed into a discard pile, put a Mugic counter on Alexia. You toss a Mugic counter, you activate Hive. Hive. Mugic counters on Alexia count as Mandiblores you control when counting Mandiblores. When you have this paired with other creatures, this could be insanity. And in a future set, we get Nuckworn assimilated. Oh man, that jumps it right up the roof, especially if you run a Water Earth style deck. Alexia's stats aren't bad either. I kind of wish you had more courage instead of power. I wish I would swap those two, but that's just my opinion. Jal, A uncommon warrior, mastery of earth, no music counters at all. When Jal deals earth damage to an uninfected creature, infect that creature. Simple enough. If engaged with affected creature, he gains earth 5. See, this is a great example of he's got everything he needs set up to do cool stuff. It's just unfortunate that his wisdom is 75. It looks like, with him being a warrior, I would have made, his power 55 and his courage 75, because that's the theme with Danians, it seems. Common Gareth, an example of not a Danian, but also a Danian at the same time. You know what I mean. An uncommon underworld commander with mastery of earth, no music. Deal 15 damage to Common Gareth while engaged, and you could deactivate Hive. Looking at Common Gareth's stats, she's actually pretty set up. She's pretty set up to crush Nanians. I dig it. Kelvedran, a common Mandiblor, mastery of air. He has fireproof and earthproof 10. Looking at his stats, pass. Kavak, who's a rare Muge, mastery of water, 2 Muge counters. Deal 25. Deal 25. Could you imagine? Deal 5 damage to target creature. Deactivate Hive. Deal 15 damage to target creature. There's ways to make that work, but like looking at his stats and stuff, given the fact that he's a Muge and he specializes in power, don't know what they were thinking. Kurtlan, who's a super rare noble with mastery of water, 2 Muge counters. If Kurtlan is in your discard pile, Mandiblor cards in your discard pile, Mandiblor creature cards in your general discard pile, count as Mandiblors you control and counting Mandiblors. If you pair this with Alexia and, you combo off of them, you could get some devastating numbers. Cuomo, a creature who I think is really solid. However, it is missing something. Let's go over it. A super rare Mepenian elite with mastery of air, no Muge counters. That's fine. Invisibility to disarm. When engaged with a Danian noble creature, Cuomo has a visibility strike 20, range swift 1. I wish that his max speed was higher. 50 for a Mepedian. No. But I do like him. He's good. Loma, super rare overworld guardian with mastery of water, 1 Mujic. Defender water 5. The first attack against Loma each combat deals 10 less damage. Loma is built to fight Mepedians. That's just how they're functioned. I feel as though Loma was never meant to be in Zenith. She should have been in Silent Sands, given that Silent Sands is a Mepedian-centric set. Merits. Let's see. Super rare Mandiblor Muge. No elements, 1 Mugic. When an infected creature is put into a general discard pile, put a Mugic counter on Merits. You can toss a Mugic and activate Hive. You see, you could synergize this and get like tons of Mugic and like guarantee yourself Hive all the time. But that requires you to like do all kinds of weird wacky stuff. Otherwise, I think Merit's stats, again, I would put he is a Muge. I don't know, man. It looks like he was built to also fight, looking at, his power right here. I would have swapped his courage and power myself. Minari, a Mepedian Stalker, common, mastery of air, no Mugic, invisibility to disarm. Again, other than the energy thing, I dig it. Narfall, I was so in love with this creature as a kid. Like, I thought he was so cool, and then I realized he's basically a BSM lord. A lot of creatures of Chaotic are designed with this in mind. It is gothic. It's meant to be like wacky and chaotic. So, it is what it is. Uncommon Underworld Elementalist with Mastery of Fire, no music. When he is engaged, deal 5 damage to target. Deal 5 damage to opposing engaged creature for each element type that creature has. You know, honestly, I think he was built to counter Heptad. Or at least that's what it feels like to me anyway. Looking at his stats, he's a decent Underworlder. I'd play him. Ornithor, Common Taskmaster, Mastery of nothing, really. He has Waterproof 10 and 1 Music. He's kind of goofy, ain't he? He's kind of strange. He doesn't... It seems like he doesn't belong, but, like, seeing that he's in the, you know, Danian Reservoir here, it looks like he was meant to fight Danians. Ramavir. Oh, I do want to throw this out there. Speaking of Ramavir. So, somebody bought some stuff off of me, and I sent them some Zenith of the Hive packs, and they pulled Ramavir, and I'm like, you suck. Like, internally. But in all fairness, I'm just very glad that somebody got Ramavir from me. Danian Hive Bringer. Danian Noble Mandiblor Muge, Mastery of Air. When Hive is activated, you remove a Mugic counter. You can remove a Mugic counter from a Danian you control, and if you do, put a Mugic counter on Ramavir, the Danian Hive Bringer. Sacrifice 2 Mugic counters. Return target Mandiblor creature card in your from your general discard pile into play on any unoccupied space on the battle board. Ramavir is amazingly built. I have one complaint. He is a Muge, right? I would have made his courage, again, theme of the Danians, I would make it like 60. It's made his wisdom 75. It's the only difference. It's the only thing I would change. Rasness. Rasness, I didn't realize how cool he was until I watched the show. I never pulled a Rasness as a kid, so when I was an adult and I managed to get a Rasness, that was another story. But the episode where he, like, morphs into a Danian, that was amazingly scary. And I think that was really cool. Ambassador to the Danians. He's a super rare overworld ambassador. Mastery of Earth and Water. He has 2 Mugic counters. Danian creatures to control can play Overworld Mugic Fireproof 10. Woo! If he's paired in the right deck, he could be nasty. Really, really nasty. Ribian, a super rare Mepedian Scout, Mastery of Air, 1 Mugic counter, Visibility Disarm, Air 5. When a creature deals damage to itself, that damage is increased by 5. You know, it's kind of funny, because it's recklessness. So he's meant to fight, like, Underworlders and War Beasts. War Beasts would very commonly gain recklessness. I've always liked his art. I think it's an absolute... it's great. Slufera. He is a rare Muge, Mastery of Fire, 1 Mugic counter. Muges gain sacrifice this creature, deal 10 damage to target creature. I know that dealing damage was a thing for the Underworld, but, like, Slufera's just kind of useless. Stricto. I wonder why the art in the small thing right here is different from this art. Anyway. Stricto. Rare warrior with Mastery of Fire. No Mugic counters. When Stricto has a Mugic counter put on it, it loses 10 energy. When a creature deals damage to Stricto, that creature loses 5 energy. You know, he has built-in defense, but, like, no one's going to really give you a Mugic counter. And, wow, all of a sudden that one Mepedian makes sense. He's meant to fight Stricto. But no one is running Stricto. He's a warrior, so why is his specialty wisdom? I always thought it was a cool design. It was like a serpent. Swasa, an uncommon warrior with Mastery of Fire. Deal 10 damage to a target creature you control. That creature gains Swift 2. This ability may only be used once per turn. Looking at its stats, pretty decent. Could be worse. Tassanella, a rare noble elementalist for the Danians. Has Mastery of Water, 1 Mugic. Water 5, Hive. Tassanella has an additional 5 energy for each element type your opposing creatures have. he counts as a Mandiblor. If that's the case, why not just call him a Mandiblor and just shrink the text a little? I don't know. But looking at his stats and stuff, Tassanell's pretty solid. Ultidor. In the show, I remember him being really, really cool. Super rare commander, no elements, no music. Commander creatures you control have fire and recklessness 5. Ultidor cannot have music counters put on it. So he's a commander, so then he would have fire and recklessness 5. He is weirdly designed. Very strange. I wonder if there's a card in the future that would change your typing. I think that would be something to look into. And finally, Yondath, a rare Dania controller, mastery of fire and earth. 1 music counter. It doesn't say that right here in the database. Get on it, guys. When opposing uninfected creatures targeted by a music you control, infect that creature. I feel as though that has its uses, but you know, whatever. I had a lot more positive things to say about this set than I did Dawn of Param, and you know, other than obviously Alexia, I think Cuomo was a banger. Loma can be a banger. Ramavir is very much a banger. Alexia, of course. You know, and there was Hammer Doom. Overall, and Garv. This set is full of, like, really interestingly good creatures. As far as, you know, sets are concerned, I think Zenith of the Hive is not that bad of a set. I think a lot of people want to give it a bad time, but, like, I don't know, dude. The selection of creatures ranges from very mediocre to really good. So, and even creatures that are played, like, to this day. So, that's something to look into. Guys, with that being said, that was me breaking down every creature in Zenith of the Hive. Now, a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, I now have 1,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough. From the bottom of my heart, I about screamed. We celebrated. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway. What I want to do is, you know what? I think I'll leave it as a little secret. And I do have something in mind. When it comes in, it's going to be cool. You guys are going to want this thing. It is going to be a giveaway item. You're going to want it. A gift from myself and Brian Gannon to you guys. I doubt he would say no. So, we'll see. We'll see. In terms of anything coming up in the future that we need to think about or worry about right now, nothing really. Money from Easter. Easter egg hunt. Oh, yeah. Easter was yesterday as of the recording of this video. Happy late Easter, everybody. Yeah. So with that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.